Alright, everything's back on. Just to give you guys a quick recap, because I didn't really get to film on the reinstall. You're gonna go around first. You're gonna disconnect this, throttle body. You're gonna want to take off the intake tube. You can probably leave the weather strip, well, shield. Disconnect this. These two disconnect with the two bolts. Then you're gonna have to take this out right here. You're probably gonna have to transfer this to the new intake. Take this out here to take this. And then that's pretty much it for the top. And then you got all the bolts like I mentioned earlier. Pull that off. And then take off the safety clip, disconnect the fuel line, disconnect the hose back there for the coolant. And then, I don't think I did this, kind of realized it after, to take off, ooh, it's kind of hot, to take off the lower intake. It's going to be a lot easier if you, that's hot, if you take off the coolant thermostat. There's a bolt right here, another one here, up here, and one back down here. Take off this whole thing here. You can pop it off of the lower intake, make it much easier. And then the intake has 10 screws. I would suggest just leaving the fuel rail on it with the injectors when you take it off, and then you can sit it on a table or on the floor. I had an old table in the backyard. You're gonna take off the clips on each injector, take off the 4 bolts, and then you pretty much just pull it up. And then you just pull out the injectors. There's no screw or anything, you just pull it. You can clean out the injectors like I did. Pretty much just shove them into the new one. Align the fuel rail on top of it. Reinstall the clips. Put the 4 bolts on the new one. And then pretty much just do backwards. Align it. Put the 10 bolts back in. All the bolts back in. Connect everything. And that's pretty much it. It's not too bad. Just a lot of bolts. All 8mm. And a screwdriver. Make sure you transfer any gaskets you might need. You can put Vaseline on them. Make sure they're not dry. If they're dry, you might want another one. Buy a new one. Be careful with all the little clips. They break easily, like the safety clip on the fuel line. Other than that, though, it's pretty straightforward. Obviously, if you do it by yourself, like I pretty much did, it's gonna take a while. So, alright, real quick, just to show you guys what I've done. You probably don't have to take the heat shield off. I did because I dropped the nut down this thing. So I had to take it off to get to it. There's gonna be a nut here you gotta take off, well, a bolt. Disconnect this. I still have to disconnect this. You can just take off these 2 bolts right here to pull this up. And then this I took from the intake. Pretty much, you can probably leave the throttle body on there because the whole top's gonna come together. And then there is a bolt here, here, 2 back here. So I think that's pretty much it. I'll see how to disconnect that valve, and then I'll take it off and get back to you guys. Alright, just to follow up on that valve. It's not really too easy, but these 2 latches right here, you pretty much need to squeeze them both at the same time. It kind of loosens it, and you just pull it out. It's basically just a clip, O-ring clip, or whatever you call it. Then right here, there's a little plastic strap for those of you that have the throttle body. When you replaced it, you'll notice it popped out down here on the stock one. Pretty sure you just need to cut that. You don't really need to worry about it, about not having one. As far as I'm told, but I'll see if I can keep it on there. You are gonna leak pretty much all your coolant, so it's up to you if you just want to drain it, that way you don't make a mess. Because regardless, once you lift up the lower intake manifold, all your coolant is just gonna pour out through the back of the engine, pretty much. So if you want to avoid making a mess on your driveway, there is, on the passenger side, there's a little bolt, 8mm bolt you can soften up and just leak it out into a bucket or whatever. Alright, got the upper off. Where'd I put it? Over there. Alright, the bolts stay on it. You do have to keep loosening them and loosening them and loosening them. This one takes a long time to get completely off. Have to play with it a while. It's one of the O-rings, or gaskets, if you prefer. So now you got the lower. I took off the styrofoam from here. It's kind of not necessary. Alright. So there's another, I think I counted 8 bolts. There's here. There's another 2 on this side. And then the ones underneath to take off the actual lower. Connects to this. You're going to have to pull it out of there. Only real thing connected. It's in the way. This is bendable. So I'm going to try not to disconnect it, just to avoid that. And I'm pretty sure this is where you're probably going to leak some coolant. Yippee. So you might need to buy some coolant. Fun tip for you guys. Alright, when you go to disconnect this, there's a little lock. Kind of broke mine. I mean, it's still usable. You can see the little crack there. You gotta pull the sides a bit, yank that out from the bottom here. This is on this. You're gonna press on the button up here. You gotta press pretty hard. I used the screwdriver. That'll come off. That's gonna be fuel. So it's gonna drop like a couple drops. You're gonna smell it. It's definitely fuel. Or at least it has fuel in it. So don't be smoking while you're doing this. It's connected here. I haven't disconnected it yet. And it also goes into this here, so you're gonna have to slide that out. I lifted it a bit, and hey, you're gonna need new coolant, because the second you lift this, all your coolant is gonna go right down to the floor. So just a heads up for that. You're gonna need coolant. I am now gonna have to go buy some coolant. Oh look, there's my coolant. So yeah, I'm gonna pull that off, disconnect those. Alright, just figured this now, just to make sure you guys know these, because definitely don't want to break any of these, because that's expensive. Alright, for all of these, there's a little latch on one side. You're gonna kinda, I don't know how well you see it, but you squeeze, ow, and pull, pretty much. That fucking hurt. Should be 3 on each side. Makes sense. And this side is a lot tighter than the other side. There you go. And I have small fingers, so it's gonna be hard for you to reach it if you got bigger fingers, but it'll be easier for you to press it. Alright. As far as actually taking it out, you can see it's really loose. The only real thing I'm having trouble with is this right up here. Pretty well stuck in there. But there's no latch or anything. Basically, you're just gonna have to wiggle and use some manpower, get it out of there. If you have a second person, I would probably suggest them wiggle back here while you push back on it, or the other way around. I am going to attempt to do it solo.